Welcome back to Enderal, where we have to find the emissary of the Blue Isle Coalition, and I'm guessing a foreigner is going to be in the foreign quarter. Is that where this is? Yes. Plus it's where our marker leads. Does it end here?
You're an outlander, aren't you?
That's right. I'm an outlander.
Huh? Can I help you?
Is this it? No. Local map? Yes, it is. It's hopping straight into the quest. I should probably quick save in case this is like I have to murder him.
Wait a moment. You're an outlander, aren't you?
Oh, you need some help?
Only if you know what to look for. I'm one myself.
Looks like an
so
apothecary.
Bathhouse, pleased to make your acquaintance. Tell me, if you're new in this city, are you perchance also looking for work? Excuse me, what was I saying? I'm looking for a hand.
Always. You don't look that foreign to me.
Well, neither do you. But to answer your question, I'm Arizaline, but third generation Arizaline, so it doesn't show that much anymore. Apart from my name and my skin, there's little left of my roots, I'm afraid. Anyway, so what did you say? Interested in some well-paid, honest work?
Certainly.
It's simple. I want you to find something for me. You know, I'm a healer, just like my father was, and my grandfather before that. When he came to this country, he did so because he had been hired by an Arca noblewoman, a bright lady who valued science and the arts of healing. In any case, my grandfather spent a large portion of life working for this lady in an old, abandoned fort near the now deserted village of Fogville. Together with a good dozen other apothecary, he planned for my father to succeed him. But before he had the chance to, the mushroom plague occurred.
You mean the plague that destroyed the Whisperwood?
Yes, that one. The spores of those mushrooms have literally sucked all the life from the forest and its surroundings. Plus, they are a threat to everyone who comes close.
Did your grandfather's work have anything to do with that plague?
It does seem likely, doesn't it? Both my father and I have asked my grandfather this question too, but he has always denied it. The plague was a magical phenomenon, a freak of nature, no more, no less. Those were his words.
I'm sure we'll uncover
However,
something.
I've made some troubling discoveries which have led me to doubt that. I believe the plague might have been fabricated.
Why?
Well, this is exactly what I want you to find out. Unfortunately, the noblewoman whom my grandfather worked for has long been dead, and she was the last in their bloodline, so I couldn't find any answers there. But the old fortress where they worked still stands.
And why don't you see for yourself? You are kind of old.
Look at me, you'll have the answer. I'm old and far from made for the road to begin with. Furthermore, all those undead who've been roaming the wilderness since that red madness began don't exactly make the idea more inviting. But don't worry, if you succeed, I'll make it worth your while.
And why do you care so
Isn't
much?
that obvious?
Just to
Because I want
curiosity?
to understand. You know, we Arzalines believe in the debt of blood. If my grandfather committed a crime, it is my responsibility to atone for it. Plus, I believe that if there was a way to, well, to cure that plague, it is hidden within that fortress. Whatever harm the mushrooms can do, they can also reverse it.
Antidote, perhaps.
My father never cared much about all this, but I'm different. If there's one thing I want to achieve in my life, then it's clarity.
Very good.
Reports, scrolls, samples of their work. Anything that could be of relevance. Just look around. Do you have a map?
Here, I'll mark it on your map for you.
Here, The fortress should be in this area. Best you take Myra to Fogville. In the village harbour, there was a hut where my grandfather lived when he was off duty. Chances are you'll find a key to the fortress there.
Ooh.
Good luck, and thank you. If you have found the material, you can find me in the Undercity, near the old waterworks. My laboratory is there.
Interesting. And he immediately leaves now that the quest is done.
Do you need something? I need some time for myself.
Oh. You're the guy.
He no talk to Dur. He not bad. Talk to others.
I don't take long. You're with the Blue Island Coalition, aren't you? I'm looking for your emissary.
Emissary. He talk about the jam? The jam not here. The jam other place. Perhaps Dul can remember, but he needs to help his memory. Dul's memory old and full of holes. Like cheese.
Perhaps some coin can close those holes. Let's see. I could rhetoric him. Very powerful man. You're still in your 20s. That's taking him literally. Here's your money. Problem. It's said to hurt, though. I'm a very powerful man. If the Blue Coalition learns that you refused my help, you can try.
Powerful man. But, fine. Dul want no trouble. The jam went bathing in house with many waters. Go look there.
Ah.
He has what he came here for. Go now. Leave Dul alone.
Yes, you should go into the
What?
Whisperwood and see
What
what,
the-
you can find in the old fortress. I'll wait for you in the Undercity.
Okay, so he just
in
walked
my
over there.
laboratory.
What an uncharacteristic thing for an NPC
Mine,
to do.
sir?
Thought he was immediately going to head for his generic guard. Talk to me. So that's the noble area, which is kind of where I thought the hunt would take place. Just wandering around a shop or in a place here. Oh, actually, is it behind me? That's the library. It's at the
Is it important?
It's the end of one of these roads, I feel like.
You're a foreigner, aren't you?
There, it's marked for me.
Picked a better time to come to Enderal. Recently, the Order has started to let pathless ones and people from the Undercity.
In we go. Okay, so you're not going to stop me, but what do you have to say?
Walk blessed, walk blessed. Has my sir come to indulge in the hot springs of the Larkses? Or is my sir simply looking for a place
Ooh,
to forget
like
about
the towel?
life's daily sorrows? In either case, he will be required to pay a toll of 57 pennies.
Looking for someone named Dejam McClayan. Any chance he's around?
Unfortunately, a man with such a name is not known to me.
Let him in. I'll pay.
Oh,
My dame, you should cover yourself.
there's coverage, but
Let's talk downstairs, shall we? I want to indulge in these beautiful springs for as long as I can.
so I only came to deliver a message. Sounds like a plan.
It does. Come on down.
Some shifts never end.
You're worried about this shift? You got this little peep show there for a second. Ah, it's stealing. Got like the subfloor,
Really need that
main floor. Just like randos. Rando. It's not like her entourage. Are you part of the entourage? Or just random
What is
bather.
it? Are you coming?
To the pool. All right. Gets my armor off. Gets me.
So, I take it you're the welcoming party from the Sickle, am I right? I was told someone would contact me as soon as we landed, but for the past 2 days, no one has. I thought I might as well take a look around the city. Even though this city has certainly seen better days, at least according to the gossip. Red madness, lost ones in the forests, crazed brigands. Phew.
What do they want here? You've been waiting 2 days. Why are you here? 2 days.
I have. But I've been warned that this Deloran is a... how shall I say? A complicated character. I'm important, and I'll let you feel just how important by letting you wait. But who cares? Once an idiot, always an idiot.
What does it... Why do they risk a ship into Enderal? What's going on?
I'm sure they have their reasons.
So what's your important business?
Now, aren't you curious? But fine, why not? We want to buy an artifact from the sickle. An ancient and powerful one.
Exciting. What kind, may I?
One of unmatched value. 2 golden testicles from a Vatir, each of them weighing 3 pounds.
I shall sigh.
Sorry, I just had to.
Secret, perhaps?
Jokes aside, I would be a bad merchant if I went around gossiping with confidential information, wouldn't I? Don't take it
I'm probably
personally.
going to have to adventure and get this artifact, most likely.
Show me. Formal supper in the guild's house with Deloran himself. Oh my, this is going to be an evening full of jesting and good humor. You can tell Deloran I'll be there. Thanks for delivering the message.
And can I have a tip? Or let's see. You're welcome. We're done here. My pleasure.
Charming.
Oh, she likes that? Oh, she is
Ah,
romanceable,
One more
possibly.
thing before you go. You're Enal. I've heard that accent before, but I just can't put my finger on it. Where are you from?
I haven't heard Enal. Narum. I haven't been here for long. Narum. But I really have to go. No, I don't have to go. But I haven't been here for long.
Of course, that was it. And how is it that a traveler like you is now running errands for the Golden Sickle?
Well, they are desperate for people. Lend a hand. Sickle pays well. Just happen. You have to do something, I suppose.
A soldier of fortune. How charming. Anyway, good luck with whatever you do next. Ah, and if you're in the mood for it, apparently there's a Chilean minstrel group in this city, and they perform in the tavern just next to the bathing house. I'll stay there for the time being, and I wouldn't mind a good chat.
Sounds good. For you, I could spare the time.
Now, aren't you subtle? Then walk blessed, as people here like to say.
All right. Go for a little swim. It's not quite deep enough. How's it going? Nice swim, eh? Hey, why are you dressed? You're peeping on us or some creepiness. All right. Let's get up here. We can have Mr. Bather. You have you're worthless. You're a bard. You're worthless. No real people here. Anyways, get our armor back on so we get our goodies. Swashbuckler set. Tracker. I don't remember exactly what I was wearing. I think that's my best stuff, and that's heavy. Backpack necessary. Do like a circlet, but we've got swashbuckler set. And we'll default to silver greatsword. I mean F. That's what I mean. Oh. I think got everything. That's right. Got nothing to say. So let's see, is that a quest? Meet before accepting the next mission at the Fat Lorian. Recover his key from the house of... Oh, it's a 3-star. I mean, 3 stars are possible. Potentially. No, she is wandering around the Noble's Quarter now. So is there more I want to do in the city? Because we're at a good point with the map. I think we have to do city stuff. This is all on the map except for the main quest. So we got 3-star 3-star, 4-star, 3-star. This one, which is doable, I believe. It's the confront the merchant, 4-star, 4-star. Like that's all, not at all. 3-star. That was, I was close, but it was just too many. I think Frost or Archinox or something. That's no star. I could do pit fighting, and this is going to close out this. So I'm thinking we might want to. We could do pit fighting, but this Fogville. We've been to Fogville, right? For like the main quest, or was that Golden Ford? I forget. This I can handle the outdoor guys, I think, but it will give a key to Fogville. I kind of want to try that. So let's head to Minard Tower, Fogville. Actually, what time is it? 7 p.m. Let's head to Market. Take a nap, then head to Fogville.
Hear my words, O path-abiding people of this holy city.
Monsieur?
Walk left.
And do I need to maybe sell? Sell the Starring Gauntlets, probably. Rune Mace of Arcane Wrath. Like,
It's good to see you.
Walk blessed.
Hammers, daggers,
get away.
swords,
You're the one I want to talk to.
everything for the path-abiding soldier.
Or just wait to get it out of my life. Shadow Stitch, that sounds like a possible magical thing, so I don't want to do anything with that. Do want to keep one-hander on hand, so let's actually probably damage. Oh, that's 17. But the rune, these can go. Those can go. I don't think I need Stunning Gauntlet for anything. Then get rid of all my rancid crap. I'll keep it water breathing. Spider venoms. Target is paralyzed. Nah.
Come again.
Oop. And I think that's good enough. 'Cause I don't have, like, I guess, do I have a set of robe? I do have a magic flow robe. It's only £1 though. Froze. Oh, okay, I thought it was frozen for a second. Oh, that's supposed to be on my bed. I can hear that from outside is the idea?
Greeting.
Yeah? What do you want?
Guess I could go in there at night, since I'm an important enough member now. He's highlighted for the other quest that I'm still like too weak to do.
Walk blessed, friend. Where are you headed?
Oh, this is probably a repeat, but let's.
About Myron. In the time before the Blood Moon Revolt, a long time ago, Tame Myron. Oh, well, and through those clicking sounds, I also. Sure, where to?
Fogville. Border Western Clift. Fogville. So we should probably have respawns as well. Oh, there's an undiscovered mine or something. Just one. Oh, I've got a memory point. Where to go? The locksmith. Fatal. Crit chance. Zooming cost half. Detected while lockpicking. Stops time. Yeah, I don't know if that's where I want to go. It's already built out. Your pockets. Poison. Hard shot, knife thrust. Roll. I think this is, yeah. So maybe some magic stuff. What can I get? The dark arts. And a cost of stuff. Psionic spells. Light magic. So like for healing stuff. Armor spells. Dual cast. It's cool. Depth concentration. More effective. Sure, why not? And oil. Well, it's like our good fog mine. Have I been to fog mine? Maybe a different entrance, possibly. What's that? I see the trap. I see a person there. I think. Okay, what is it? Is it behind me? Is it a... It's right there. Old iron arrows. What is this? Starling, not a lot of starling. I've got rune. Old rune. A lot of old rune. Silly marauder. And the other one doesn't care? They were like right here. Pretty sure it was the second one. Unless I'm just crazy. Nice. Why not? If I see two paths, I assume it's like a trap somewhere. This is blocked totally. Oop, oop, oop. Here one. Kind of want to melee this guy. I don't think my sprint makes it worse. Oh, no. Not good.
I'll gut you for this.
Yeah, we gotta deal with that mage.
You'll fucking burn for this, I swear.
Oh, damn. Oh. We're gonna need something.
You picked the wrong enemy, my friend.
There somewhere? There's two. A little bit of regen. I should be launching my... Ooh. Oh, I hit him. Just by pure luck.
What? That's all you got?
Guess that was the oil that got her. Oh, magic? Oh my. Whoa. Whoa. Wait, where? Invisible? I'm legging it. Need close quarters. Is that rancid one? Survived to our out of combat regen. Which actually gone this way, but it probably just leads to the same room. I think the Starling dummy. Kind of surrounding myself. Oh, right there, right there. Can't see him. Ooh. That is an excellent haul.
Just a scratch.
All right. Taken care of. Sonic spells cost less. Entropy robe. Keep your shoe. I'll take your sword. Grave curse. Health regeneration. Target's 40% slower. Target dies while active. Explodes, deals. Okay. Resurrection. Reanimate a powerful dead body to fight for you for 60 seconds. Nice. Pyrean. Certainly. Oh, I can do expert. Nice. That all looks pretty good. Oh, set of Selina's Ventail. Rune Dagger of Ambush. Anything else hidden in this blood that I can't see? And a simple... Oh. The apprentice has become the master. Yeah, just grab it. Ooh, take that stuff. Ash pile. Sure, it was like a goat. Let me do a little quick save. I'm gonna run down here, see if there's anything. Good, to probably get Arcane Fever. There's a chest. Some coinage. But pretty worthless, so I'm just gonna Save scrub that. And not go down there. Adept. Got him. Mana regen, elementalism. A little quick save. Aha. Some Macalite, why not? Is a resource, it has value. Even if I won't do any crafting with it. What are you doing? Sure, pickaxe.
Wait. Someone's there.
Oh, that should have stunned you. Is this a totally another branch, or it's going to reconnect, it looks like. Yeah, so this is like one guy that's off over here. This might have been who I saw earlier. Oh yeah, so here, I just snuck by and I just didn't even look. And as far as I know, there's no alternate exits over there. That's just the part of the mushroom trees or whatever. Run by, I shouldn't get hit. Boom, we're fine. Okay, so if we head around just due west, we should run into it. We could follow the road. Kind of want to go this side way, sort of. Also, it detects some undiscovered stuff this way. But I feel like I never hugged this side. Now, there's got to be some wolves around. Deer. Goat. Maybe not a ton of wolves respawning. If this is just sheer cliff. That whole side, yeah, so nothing's happening over there. Got cave, was some grass, why not? And a hut. Stone bridge. Yeah, if this is within detection range over here, these shouldn't be too far away. Alright. Oh. Skellies. Ah. So even a critical. And it's just gonna have more bow stuff. Oh, so this is maybe down there or across the way. Ooh, found an error here. Report the bug. I think. Yes, this is down there some. Yeah, so that's like a whole nother section. Fogville mining. I don't know if that's even part of any of the quests or if it's just a fun little explorable. Yeah, so I think I should follow the path. Cooked venison, sure. So I have... Oh! You're alive. Or respawned, more accurately. There's a cave nearby. Probably underneath down there. Start running. Little flag could be a... Oh, I hear the wolves, but they're also down there. Safe for a little bit. Oh, arcane. Wild mage. Actually, from here, can I shoot through this? Oh, they got some health on them. Oh, they got the... Oh. Take that. Gotta close the distance. Oh, there's multiple. That's not good. That's not what I want. I want some oil. Alright, they're taken down easily though. Once they've been kind of controlled. Carrying around nice stuff. Great. Oh, I don't want that wooden bowl. I want potatoes. That's our target. We might do some exploring back that way. Oh, right there. I don't see movement. I would think there'd be some ARPs, mages, or something. Maybe inside the buildings they're hiding out. Right there. Oh, damn. Oh, that stuns me? They just stand there in an awkward stance menacingly all day. Magic is running a little low. This can I do a recharge? About I can. That's a shot that I can do. We've got Q1. He's switching to bows. Not see him running away so easily. Oh. He's like an ARP leader, but he actually did run at low health. This guy, he must have succumbed to the magic. Any along the coast here. Need cleaning up. Maybe, but the boat's previously explored. So it'll get probably skeleton respawns or whatever it has. Oh, that is a ice claw. Sure. Ooh, nice. I don't think that block is going to be the most useful to me right now. Ooh, coin purse. Take that silver amulet all day. Oh, I totally forgot about that ice claw. Oh. Who survived a shot? Very good. Respectable king crab. So I'm just gonna head on over, grab my ice claw. Greatest concept in gaming. So great that I'm gonna have it right now. Ice claw, it must be in here. BCD. Am I staring at it? I'm staring at it, aren't I? Right there. Nearly 450 in carry weight. One day we'll find that extra large backpack, and all will be complete. Okay, we'll try to sneak our way in. Undefended. I find that hard to believe. Oh, I hear it. Oh, it's a mad rat. Just one, though. Get those coin piles. Oh, do we get into this? We will get into this soon. Got that. Can't read anything here. Silver amphora, not quite valuable enough. Alright, so we've got the next part of that quest. So that I think that means we're going to do a long read of the next Butcher of Ark, Ashes. So just tune out now because this is the rest of the episode, if that's not what you're into. Chapter 4, Ashes. It must have been around 2 o'clock at night when I put my plan into action. The voices from downstairs had started to fade around midnight, but I did not want to take any unnecessary risks. Cautiously, I set foot outside my room and peered into the hallway leading to the stairs down to the tap room. However, I quickly withdrew at the sound of stumbling on the stairs. I closed the door behind me and listened. A woman and a man, likely drunk, judging by their irregularity of their steps. Could it be one of the two brutes? No. His voice sounded too bright, too soft, and too tired. I waited until they had passed my room, and I heard a door opening and closing. Then I snuck out into the hallway again. Now it was deserted. I crept toward the stairs and peeked down to the tap hall. Nobody. Even the maidservant and the host appeared to have retired to the night, and only the typical smell of grease, alcohol, and sweat reminded of the patrons who had indulged themselves a few hours ago. I nodded contentedly as if to reassure myself and returned to my room once more. If the tap room was empty, chances were that there was nobody outside either, with the possible exception of a sentinel, perhaps a beefy farmer's son who wished to earn a few extra coins. Carefully I checked the utensils I had gathered for my revenge before I tied the leather pouch containing them around my waist. I pulled the hood of my vagabond's gear low over my face and congratulated myself with its purchase again. The window was opened without effort or noise. I pushed the blinds, which ought to protect the room from the cold of night, open, just a soft creaking. Slowly I climbed the windowsill. A soothing, almost thumping warmness spread through my insides, despite the cold wind. It was as if I drew power from that strange, dull feeling in my stomach. I looked down the wall and surveyed the situation, filled with a sense of gratification. Indeed, I was less muscular and strong than the brutes, but I was agile and flexible instead. My hands were long and slim, perfectly suited for my purpose. I was lucky in 2 ways. First, the host had given me a room on the 2nd floor, not the 3rd. Secondly, just a few feet below me was a roof of a small porch, which probably sheltered the sentinel from rain. As I lowered myself from the sill, luck decided to smile on me for a 3rd time. The tips of my boots were only a few fingers' breadth away from the roof. I inhaled deeply and released the ledge. I landed with muffled impact, not loud enough to raise suspicion. Now I had to be quick. Any second out here could be the moment that someone caught sight of me, and I snuck along the porch and descended from the ledge. A gust of wind made my vagabond's garment flutter, nature's dramatic addition to the scene. The stables where the brutes had left their horses were in front of me. The building was an unremarkable extension of the tavern, standing in the blue of the moonlit night, a perfect silence. As I came closer, I heard the heavy breath of horses, the scraping of hooves, and the crackle of hay. Carefully, I pulled at the heavy iron door's handle. The door swung open with ease. You might well ask why an unlocked stable door did not arouse any suspicion in me. The truth is that I was too consumed by the blazing determination my bold plan of revenge had ignited to question my fourth lucky streak. I ventured inside without a glimmer of doubt. Only 5 horses were in the stable, 2 of them sleeping. A gray nag in a compartment next to the door glanced at me with a look that could have been classified as skepticism, but the animal quickly lost interest and continued to chew on the hay. It was not difficult to find the steeds of my tormentors. Pitch black and muscular as they were, they stood at the very end of the horsewing in a chamber separated by a fragile wooden door. Now the time had come. Cautiously I knelt in front of the compartment of the first steed, near the manger. I could not suppress a twinkle of envy as I inspected the horse from up close. Even an amateur like me could see that it was a Scaraglian rock stallion. I quarreled with myself for several seconds. Who were these men that they could afford such noble horses? And what would befall me if they ever got sent the fact that I was responsible for what would happen to them in the morning? Maybe all this is the first time in your life that you show courage. These 2 bastards have earned a lesson in humility. Of course, the voice was right. I was right. To recoil now would be an act of cowardice, a shame did not want to live with, indeed. These 2 had earned a lesson in humility, and I was going to give it to them. My fingers slid into the leather pouch at my side, felt out a small vial, and pulled it out. Shearcap dust. The eponymous mushroom usually grew in sparsely vegetated stony landscapes, and the cliff where Fogville was situated on exactly such an area. The application of these fungi was one of the first things Mother Pylea had taught me when I was a novice. Mixing the powder with whisper tree resin resulted in a sticky pulp which accelerated the healing rate considerably when applied to an open wound. Since whisper trees grew in nearly every area of Enderal, except for the barren lands of Thalgard, the Frostcliff Mountains, and the Powder Desert, it was highly advisable to bring a vial of concentrated shearcap powder on extended journeys. The substance provided protection from various ailments and afflictions, perhaps most importantly inflammation, for those who knew the correct dosage of the 2 components. However, the Kep's powder had an additional effect, which was unknown to the common people. If it reached the stomach of an unfortunate fellow in an excessive concentration, it triggered something that would best be described as a cascade of rage. Negative feelings such as grief, hate, and anger were amplified many times over. An irascible man would lose his temper and even faster than usual. A gloomy, heartbroken woman would be suffering unbearably, to the point of a full breakdown. The effect of concentrated shearcap powder mixed into a meal equipped the feelings a trained psionist could evoke in his victims. The only difference was that the powder needed 7 or 8 hours to take effect. In this case, though, I welcomed the delay, as you can imagine. According to my plan, the 2 brutes, full of arrogance and pride, would be mounting their expensive stallions, only to be thrown to the ground by the befuddled horses in full gallop. The animals would likely run off, leaving the primitives behind with considerable bruises or fractures. Back then, I was shocked by the gratification, arousal even, this thought brought me. A smile formed on my lips while I uncorked the vial and walked toward the sleeping horses. I did not have to search long for the trough. It contained a pap of hay, mashed apples, and rancid water, probably a meal the splendid animals were not accustomed to, yet it was tasty enough to sate their appetite. I crouched down in front of the bucket which had been placed at the end of the hallway between the 2 compartments, poured 2 small vials of powder on my hand and mixed it in the food. Once that was done, I carried the trough to the compartment, swung it back and forth in front of the horses, and murmured something I hoped was encouraging, to gently wake up a warhorse. I did not have to wait long. The first horse opened one eye and gave me an indefinable glance. Sleepily it shook its head, as if the mental classification of my presence meant too much effort at this late hour, fluttered its lips, and dipped its head into the trough. It worked. Damn, it is working. The thrill of anticipation which had vibrated within me when I entered the stable mingled with glowing triumph, and I felt more excited than ever. Strange, indeed. There I was, a young priest of about 30 winters, playing a prank on 2 brutes who had been bullying me. However, instead of feeling impish or cheeky, I saw myself as a personification of justice, an avenging angel who contributed to the betterment of humanity with his action. Well, I admit it was a fairly generous interpretation of the circumstances, and the first beat of a butterfly's wing occurred, as the veiled woman would say. I was so consumed by satisfaction that I did not perceive my surroundings. I only heard the scuffling of steps behind me when it was already too late. A heavy paw landed on my shoulder. Startled, I turned my head. My first mistake. Now the buccaneer was able to identify my face, which had been concealed by the shadow of my hood. He seemed to realize what I was doing straight away. "You lousy swine!" he snarled, half statement and half question. His breath reeking of alcohol was the last thing that registered with me before his right fist clashed into my face. I heard a sharp snap and felt a burning pain shoot up my head. The blow's force threw me back and had me collapse on the sparsely distributed pieces of hay on the floor. My head reverberated as if the pillars of the Sun Temple had dropped down on me. "Miserable son of a whore!" the buccaneer's voice resounded amid the buzzing that rang in my ears. "You haven't had enough, have you?" Disoriented from the pain, I attempted to crawl forward, but immediately felt an exploding pain on my right side as the giant thrust his thick leather boot in my side. "Huh? What is your problem, you piece of crap?" he shouted, full of rage. "What is your damn problem?" Another kick followed, this time against my ribs. I could hear them cracking noisily, and for a moment I was unable to breathe. I was foolish enough not to understand that the buccaneer's questions were not questions, but expressions of rage. So I held up my hand and tried to offer an explanation for my presence here. As a result, his boot struck my head and my face was dashed against a hard stone floor. I felt hot blood running down my forehead. My cheeks and my nose had for a couple of seconds my vision blackened. Using the last of my strength, I curled up like a child in its mother's womb in hopes that the position would allow me to endure the force of his attacks. "You miserable fool," I thought. "You damn fool, he's going to kill you, damn it. He's going to kill you." Over and over I cursed myself while anticipating the next kick. But no kick came. Confused, I dared to open my eyes and raise my head a little. I could barely make out anything in the dark, with all the blood in my eyes. The giant had turned away from me and knelt before his horse, worryingly caressing it. The soothing words he whispered to the animal were in stark contrast to the brutish shouting which had accompanied his assault. He does not recognize me, I realized through the pain. He does not even recognize me as a threat. What happened next, and most importantly, what I experienced, will be hard to put into words. I remember how I suddenly felt the leather sheath of my iron dagger. I had considered it wise to keep it disguised, and had it on me simply because I had forgotten to leave it in my room in the tavern. Everything happened faster than I was able to think. Instinctively, beastily, anyone who has received a well-trained hard blow to the nose knows how painful it is. However, my pain vanished in an instant, and I became aware of how dull the feeling in my stomach, the feeling which had shaped the determination and anticipation at the premise of my failed act of vengeance, began to transform. If the feeling had a form, it transferred after my last thoughts had run their course. "Degenerate bastard! First you humiliate me without reason, in front of all those people, and now you dare to spoil my revenge?" The anger in my stomach smoldered, and in a matter of seconds my body was soaked with sweat. I trembled. He was going to pay for this. The subhuman, the worthless piece of filth that considered himself above the law, merely because of his bloated upper arms and his physique. Indeed, some people do not deserve a place on this world. Quietly bristling with rage, I drew my dagger. My arm had been strangely twisted by the kicks, but I ignored the pain. It did not exist anymore. It was only me and my enemy. And then I was there. With a force I did not think my slim arms were capable, I drove the dagger into the brute's back. Surprised and stunned, the gorilla gasped and spun around. Now there was no hint of malice and mocking in his eyes. Instead, he saw bewilderment, as if what was about to happen did not belong to the realm of possibility. Then it changed to plain bestial rage. He grabbed my throat with both hands and lifted me off the ground, so I dangled like a convict from the gallows. The dagger stuck at his back as if it had been there from the day of his birth. I felt his strong fingers dig into my windpipe, cutting off my air. But the moment I looked into the man's eyes, I knew his end was nigh. It burned inside of me with an archaic, destructive force, and a volatile cocktail of rage. Euphoria and a flush of victory coursed through my veins, my mind. Every part of my body, with full force, I slammed the tip of my boot between his legs. The man let out a tormented wail, released my neck, and doubled over. I did not hesitate for a second. I reached for the hilt of the dagger protruding from his back and yanked it free, only to plunge it into his flesh in a different place. This time I encountered resistance, so I altered the angle of the weapon and turned it jerkily. The man roared, his voice no longer sounding human. Weak and disoriented, he tried to fall backwards and thus throw himself on me, but it was in vain. "You dare evade your punishment?" the voice in my head ranted. "After all you did to me, and dare to resist me, huh?" Once more I struck him with my dagger, driving it into his thigh. Again he staggered. gasping unintelligible words. This time he did not try to fight back. Instead, he sank to his knees and started to whimper. He wants me to stop! An insane, triumphant grin spread across my face. This piece of crap truly wants mercy. However, I did not grant him mercy. I threw myself upon him and knocked him on his side. As I straddled him, it hit me that a stranger at this very moment watched our silhouettes would have considered us a couple in love play. A laugh left my throat, followed by another. Louder one. The way he was lying there, the oafish, remorseless giant looked at me with delirious eyes full of fear, like a boy who was about to receive a well-deserved spanking from his father. His steed did not appear concerned in the slightest. Please, please don't, he whispered, blood gushing from his mouth. What happened then will be difficult to describe. First, I was overcome by a wave of demonic joy, and broke out in manic laughter. I threw my head back and laughed loud and ringing. An ecstatic frenzy swept through my bones, my veins, my body. By the Black Guardian, I felt alive. I felt as if I had lived surrounded by heavy fog, which had only been blown away just now, as if I had taken a shadow on the wall for the thing that was casting it. Like a priest who killed a sacrificial lamb, I took hold of the dagger with both my hands, raised it above my head, and drove it into the brute's chest. In the very instant that the poignant sound of steel penetrating flesh occurred, something transpired that changed my life forever. For a short time I became the man I killed. Indeed, I became him and stayed myself at the same time, as paradoxical as it may sound to you. A wave of unknown memories swept across my mind. I saw the brute, hands dripping with the blood of a Skyrian man. I saw him in a dark room, holding a black piece of cloth, weeping. I saw him together with his chum. It was his brother, in a large stone hall, standing in a circle of people who held each other's hands. Each of the images appeared with the force of a striking hammer, and with every new image the tingle increased. The flaming delight of my body intensified, and the obsession controlling my actions grew, became more consumed. Feed me, the dark part of myself cried, louder and stronger with every vision that appeared to me. Feed me with his flames. With shaking hands and covered in sweat, I withdrew the dagger from the giant's lifeless remains, only to drive it into his chest once more, even more forceful than before. Again, memories that were not mine flooded my mind, the moment the dagger sank between two ribs, revealing themselves to me on the rhythm of adrenaline-fueled heartbeat. Every new image brought ecstasy, building and building until it left no room for other sensations. I uttered a noise that was meant to be a sigh of pleasure, but left my mouth as a manic, demonic croak. By the righteous path, I experienced a feeling of rapture like never before. I am alive, my thoughts cried while I lifted the blade for the next blow. I live and I judge. The blade dashed down again and pierced the lifeless flesh beneath me. Memories, ecstasy. His red lifeblood splattered on my face and mixed with my own, hot and sticky. But I did not care. No, I cared about nothing at all, for I would judge, kill, punish him for his sins. Stab for stab, memory for memory, until nothing remained of him, nothing but cold, lifeless ashes. Even now, almost a year later, my palms grow moist and my breath quickens when I recall this memory. The ink becomes darker and the quill snaps on the parchment. But you will not be able to understand my feelings as a damned being from an irrational point of view. There are numerous reasons for this. First of all, it is very likely that you are disgusted by my account. You are right to be, for I describe a barbaric act in an almost celebratory manner. However, it is the only way to make you understand my thoughts to at least some extent. Second reason, which is attributable to the first, is the one that carries the most weight. There are things you can only truly understand if you experience them yourself. Among them are sex, the thrill of pain during a deadly fight, and not least the end of life itself, death. How exquisitely we can reason upon the latter, creating theoretical models to explain its nature, from the teachings of the path to the chants of the monks from Araziel, or the reasoning of a philosopher's mind. Yet ultimately it makes no difference. We will not truly comprehend it till the moment we face it ourselves. The ecstasy which had gotten hold of my body like the blue death seized a wild mage's mind was all of the above and none of it. It was fire. It filled me up, burned in every part of my body. My limbs felt boiling hot, and my heart was beating insanely with the confinements of my chest. What I had done seemed morbidly wonderful, lofty, even stimulating, and in a perverted manner, sexual. I did not believe for a second that I had done anything wrong. No, there was no right or wrong. There was only me and the driving force inside of me, originating from somewhere separate from gods, demons, and laws of this world. I was judge, my will was my sword, and the brute the convict. There was nothing more. My movements were instinctive, archaic, pure. What I did were simply the consequences of intricate circumstances. Just like a wolf tearing a lamb apart, I did only what I, J.L. Tannerson, had to do in this moment. At least until the fire expired. How late might it have been? The cock's crow had not sounded yet, but a few birds chirped in the dense forest past the wheat fields. One of the steeds was still asleep, despite all the ruckus from the fight. The other stallion scraped its hooves impatiently over the hay, covered the ground. I had not moved a bit after my final stab. The man who some hours ago had mocked me lay beneath me, battered and disfigured. The dark blood on my hands was beginning to dry. Unmoving and rigid as a wax doll, I knelt by my work. At one point I had experienced a zenith of sorts. As mentioned earlier, it felt more burning and ecstatic with every stab. The flames inside me had grown and grown, till it was like an enormous infernal pillar of flames that shot up from my stomach to my eyes, blazing hot, searing. Now my reason was starting to return. Less and less I thought with the diffuse voice in my mind. More and more I became J.L. Tannerson again, born in Fogville, a pathless priest and murderer. The realization of what I had done finally sunk in, but with this a warrior after a nerve-wrecking battle, my mind and body were too spent, too weak from the exertion to be able to think straight. So I let the dagger drop from my cramped fingers, tilted my head back, closed my eyes, and listened to the silence. 10 minutes passed, 15, half an hour. Only when footsteps approached the stable did I break free from my rigor, but I still found myself incapable of acting accordingly. A good boy wipes the dirt off his plate. Shot through my head all of a sudden. Slowly I shifted my gaze in the direction of where the sounds had come from. It was the buccaneer's brother. Briefly the fire lit up inside me again, and I smiled an almost indulgent smile at the man who stared at the carnage in disbelief. Then it dissolved. Too tired, too weak, sated. The brute's hand crept towards his sword. Before he could wrap his fingers around the hilt, he dropped to the ground with a choked, gurgling groan. I blinked, too apathetic to fully comprehend what had just happened. A figure, veiled in shadows, loomed still like a statue over the collapsed body by the entrance. Then it moved toward me. A silver beam of moon, almost defeated by the sun, illuminated the figure's face. It was the Bio. He halted a few steps away from me and placed his hand on his hips. He appeared to me like a docker who examined the payload that had been carried from the ship to the wharf in hours of hard work. A smile appeared on his face, engaging, perceptive, and scornful. "You actually have it," he spoke in a pleasant baritone, fascinated. "What?" The Bao laughed. "Well, what?" He paused for a moment and seemed to look right through me. Then his eyes met mine again, and I perceived in them a curious change I was unable to comprehend on that time. Fire. So who's the Bio? Is this a figment of his imagination, or is this a second person from the bar? I am a little confused. But that is the story of the Butcher of Ark, Volume 4. So, we will pursue our quest. Now we have the key to Fogville in the next episode. So catch y'all then.